Welcome back, guys. 8:16 right now. February 7th, a pretty cool event coming up. Hey, there's me with my little daughter at, I believe that was last year's event. And this year, it's a group called 2hearts. Congenital heart disease is the #1 birth defect in the country and the leading cause of infant death. 1 out of every 100 kids will be born with this. Most parents don't know what it is until they have to. My daughter was born with it, and so I learned a whole lot about it very quickly. But with medical advances, 80% of kids with CHD will see adulthood, and that's where 2hearts comes in. They're serving those preteens and those teens out there who are living with CHD and transitioning into being an adult and taking care of themselves. We've got Dr. Young here. We've got Jenny Kreis here. Good to have you both.
Thank you.
So, doctor, you see a lot of these patients. Jenny, your 15-year-old child was born with CHD, so you've got a unique perspective on exactly how this all works. So we're going to talk to you in a second. But, doctor, I want to ask you, explain CHD for those who maybe haven't experienced it themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. So congenital heart disease just means that you were born with a structural heart problem.
Some sort of heart defect.
Exactly. And that can range from something being really minor, like a small hole in the heart, where maybe nothing ever needs to be done, to having maybe half a heart, needing a lot of surgeries, and just really having a lifelong impact.
Well, and thankfully, because of doctors like you and awesome investments, these kids who are born with CHD are growing up and doing well and thriving, but they need lifelong care. And so, Jenny, you know that firsthand. Your 15-year-old child transitioning, it's not an easy age to be a person
Right.
in general,
Right.
but you also have to learn how to take care of yourself, right?
Right, absolutely. So my son was born and had 3 open heart surgeries before the age of 3. He's doing great, but he does have a life ahead of him of a lot of medical care.
Possibly more open heart surgeries?
Potentially,
Yeah.
potentially. And so, you know, we love 2hearts because it really helps him meet kids like himself.
Yeah.
And also they work with him to, you know, to take responsibility of his care as he becomes an adult.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's a transition that's really important, doctor. I'm sure you see that all the time, where kids transition away from mom and dad taking care of them to having to take care of themselves, and sometimes that's not always as smooth as it should be.
Right, absolutely. So in the adult world, we don't talk to the parents initially, we talk to the kids.
Right.
And they're not kids anymore, they're adults.
Right.
But as adults, sometimes they're not used to taking that responsibility, to understanding the disease. And so that's our whole part, is to empower them so that they can understand and make it a part of their lives. So when they get through that adolescent phase, it's part of them, they know how to handle it, and they've got it, and they can move forward with that.
And it's really cool. 2hearts based right here in Denver. There's not a lot of organizations like this across the country. It's a very unique focus on these kids transitioning. So coming up February 7th, they've got a gala, and they've got lots of cool auction prizes they're going to be giving away. If you want to help out, we'd love to see you there. I'll be there Thursday, February 7th, 6 o'clock at the Cable Center, and $85 for an adult ticket. A great way to give back to these families that are transitioning, really helping these kids to transition. When I started helping out with you guys, that was 5 or 6 years ago. My daughter was 3. Now she's 8. Now I'm like, wow, that's not that far away. She'll be a teen pretty soon. It scares the heck out of me. Thank you both for coming in and
You're
talking
welcome.
about this.
Thank
And thank
you
you for working with them. Let's get over to Christine watching your weather on this Friday. Hey,